gets a nice little jump. So basically a first reaction pretty much of what is going on. And as I do this video, Lions and Philly are actually going at it right now on Sunday Night Football. But let's just real quick just kind of dissect a little bit of some things. First of all, everybody jumps on me because I live in Central PA and I'm a Falcons fan, and the Falcons season is absolutely garbage right now. 5-game losing streaks, lose to Carolina. They don't have the people. They don't have this. They have stars, but Penix got hurt. Kirk Cousins comes in and he doesn't do any better. But they fight with a Carolina team that is definitely better than before. But they tie the game late, and Kirk can't do anything. 3 and out, and Carolina gets the ball, throws a 54-yard pass, and sets up for the game-winning field goal. Let's just be realistic about the Atlanta Falcons and my Falcons. I personally believe deep down we have the pieces. We have Bijan. We have Tyler Algier, Drake London. We had to get 2 pieces on defense to help the defense. And the defense did get 5 sacks on Bryce Young. And that's all they really got, because they let all the other guys run all over us and toss all over us. And Bryce Young gets a chance to sweep the Falcons. So to be quite honest with you, I do not believe Raheem Morris is the guy. And now I'm personally believe that Terry Fontenot, the general manager, is not the guy. When he was hired, he said he was going to put together a championship team. That's 5 years ago. That has not happened yet. They have not reached the playoffs since they went to the Super Bowl. So with that being said, I believe after this season, and I've heard some podcast people in Atlanta saying that it's a front office and it's an ownership thing. I don't believe that's a front office and an ownership thing at all. You got to make the right decision, because you got 4 tiers to build your organization: ownership, front office, GM, coach, quarterback. Well, that's 5. I mean, quite honestly, Penix can be the guy, but he got hurt in that game with his knee. No issue, no idea what's going on with Michael Penix. But now we have learned many things. Nobody wants Kirk Cousins. Nobody wants that contract. So now it's to the point now where, do you really want to put together this team under Michael Penix? Well, you probably can, because he does have talent. But he got banged up today, and it doesn't make anything any better for Atlanta. But as I look through this entire, as I pretty much look through the entire whatever, the Falcon season is done. They've lost 5 in a row. This has happened actually last year to them when Kirk Cousins was playing, and then he went on that fall off a cliff 5-game stretch where they lost. And it's not going to get any better. I mean, I know they get New Orleans next week, but they get New Orleans and the Jets, and then they get Seattle and Tampa, and it doesn't matter. They're not going to win 6 in a row. The season's already washed, and it doesn't matter that Tampa lost to Buffalo in a shootout. The season is done. So, in my personal opinion, I don't know who you're going to get as far as Atlanta, as far as coaches, because there is not a coach, let alone a coordinator, that stands out. As of this very second, there are 2 people that come to mind when it comes to a possible coaching scenario, because already Tennessee's dropped theirs, the Giants dropped Dable, and there's only 2 people that come out immediately, and that's Mike McCarthy, who is unemployed, and Lane Kiffin, who's the coach of Ole Miss. The Dolphins already are thinking they already fired their GM, so they're going to let Mike McDaniel go for the rest of the year, see how he goes, and then go figure Miami won this afternoon in Madrid against a beat-up Washington team. Nobody knows the Jekyll and Hyde with Miami, but McDaniel might actually keep his job. Otherwise, I don't really have an idea of who else you want. Is there another great coordinator in the league that would take a job? Zach Robinson is the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, and he comes from the Sean McVay tree. Everybody was up in arms being like, all right, this offense is finally going to go. This offense is still struggling, except for Bijan, who is a guaranteed Pro Bowler, no question about it. They finally hit on a megastar in Bijan Robinson. They also have Tyler Algier, who makes probably one of the best 1-2 punches in running backs. That's all they got. Drake London's the only wide receiver they got. I do not trust Darnell Mooney. They let Ray McLeod go because he didn't want to be there anymore. Their wide receiver core is basically C-. And Drake is the only one that makes it A+. I mean, basically would make it a B minus, real close to it, just because it's Drake London. And I have no idea if Kyle Pitts is coming back. He's on a contract year. So basically, in a long spet, there's my Falcons rant. I don't know if Raheem Morris is the guy. I think he's gone. But there's rumors that if the Green Bay Packers would not make the playoffs, Matt LaFleur would be available. That's not going to happen. Green Bay's playing well. And even though they lost their tight end for the year, they're going to compete in probably the best division in the league. Now that them, Chicago, and Detroit are all going to compete for that division for the NFC North. Otherwise, it has been a complete mess the entire day. Like, the Steelers got a much-needed victory. The Ravens got a big victory over Cleveland, and Cleveland plays well at home. We also got to see Shedeur Sanders for the first time today. 4 of 16, 47 yards and a pick. But he did have but there were a couple big drops. I will give him that. There were, throws that he should have made, but there were throws that should have been caught as well. I'll give him at least that much credit. But you're thrown right into the fire with Dylan Gabriel getting knocked out with a concussion protocol, if that's what it was. But you're thrown right into a fire, into a really, really tough situation, to be put right into the spot of a very, very tough divisional game. And yes, I get it, it's Shedeur Sanders, but he was 4 for 16, 47 yards and a pick, and it was a bad one. And he threw a couple really bad ones, but he threw a couple good ones, and they should have been caught. I saw the last drive. Otherwise, I look at everything that happened with this weekend, and I'm going to try to keep this under 10 minutes. Like, Houston barely won. Seattle and LA did not disappoint. That's going to be down the earth, going to be one of the best rivalries. LA came out, the Rams came out on top. Buffalo got into a shootout with the Bucs at home, but it was all Josh Allen. He threw 3 touchdowns, ran 3. That's how good and that's how great Josh Allen is. We also saw, the Bears just continue to find ways to win, and they did it against the Vikings. New England just keeps winning. They haven't really played anybody hardcore. They did beat Tampa, but they're 9-2, and I'm thinking they're 9-2 right now as I hit the button here. 9-2, but they got pieces. They spent a lot of money on the off season, and Drake May's playing the way he's supposed to be playing under Mike Vrabel. Jacksonville probably has the biggest survivor. Did not help a parlay that I did today. But Jacksonville absolutely embarrassed the Chargers at home today, which means you don't know which team Jacksonville gets, and they are banged up, and Travis Hunter's out for the year. So they went and get Jacoby Myers. He had an okay game, and Tim Patrick had a couple big catches. Washington had a good, but you don't know which Jacksonville team you're getting. That's just the thing about that. And they're surviving in that division with Houston and with Indianapolis, who was off this week. I look at all the schedule stuff that happened. Like, Brock Purdy came back. We knew that he was going to come back and do stuff against a totally destroyed Arizona team. Arizona plays everybody tough, but they're so beat up right now, it's ridiculous. And nobody knows Kyler Murray's. Nobody knows his future coming up. Not a clue. The NFL is just an absolute flip. And the biggest thing I didn't say is now the Denver Broncos beat Kansas City in a punch in the mouth, back and forth battle in Mile High, which knocks Kansas City to 5-5 to 500. Denver has a full throttle hold on this division. How long is this going to happen? How long will they hold on to it? I don't know. But this first reaction is just to blurt out what I know right now, because right now, as of this very second, Kansas City's out of the playoff picture, and a lot of people, including many people, do not want to see the Kansas City Chiefs back into the playoffs. Even if they make a 6-7 seed, they will make a run. But I think after today, it's going to get very, very interesting. With 6-7 weeks coming up, we're going to see exactly where everything unfolds. Will the Chargers come back? Will Denver hang on with Bo Nix and Sean Payton holding on? This is my first reaction of week 11. How crazy this entire thing is gone. And I like the way things are going right now, but the Steelers needed a big win, and they got it. Atlanta's Atlanta. So, quick first reaction. What are your thoughts? Let's get out of here.